Colchester. What a fantastic time we archaeologists have had, as to be said. If you say to average people, what do you think about when you think about the Romans? Lots of people obviously think about Roman soldiers, yes, and a lot of them might think something like that. Great fun. I would say that an awful lot of people, when they think about the excitement of the Romans, would think about this, chariot racing, because that was, in the Roman period, it was like football. It's as popular as football, huge entertainment, spectator sport. There were three types of public buildings for entertainment in the Roman period. There was the theatre, where people would go to hear drama, plays, mimes, so on. There was the amphitheatre, where they'd go to see gladiators fighting or doing mock battles or animal baiting. And then there was a circus, where they would see chariots hurtling round a central barrier at great speed. Now, before we actually started our work on the garrison, the developer asked me, he said, what was the worst thing that you could find? What was the worst thing that you could find? And, well, it's a different perspective to us, but so I thought for a bit, and I thought, well, the very worst thing we could find would actually be an amphitheatre. Wrong. It was a circus, and that's what we found. And the reason why I said an amphitheatre was in Britain until that time, we'd come to terms with the fact that we probably weren't going to find anywhere in the country a circus. We were not in circus mode when it turned up. And that's what initially got us on the hop. And the problem now is, we've got this marvellous thing, this fantastic discovery. What are we going to do with it? The circus, our circus, is like all circuses in plan, but it has its own distinctive bits and pieces. It's got the starting gates at one end, and the chariots and the charioteers would race around this central barrier here 7 times over a distance of about 2.5 miles in our case, and they'll be watched by up to 15,000 people sitting around this bit around here. So you've got a flattish end there and a circular end there. Now, this is what it looks like from the air, and this is where the circus would be, if you can see it now. It's an extraordinary thing. It's over 1/4 mile long. It's about 70 metres wide. And as Francis mentioned, it's the largest Roman building that we know of in Britain, bigger than the Forum in London. As I said, it's the only Roman circus that we know of. I dare say more will be discovered in due course now we've started, but for the moment it's the only one. So what are we going to do with it? The problem that we've got with that circus is that it's not actually going to be destroyed, which is good. It's not going to be lost, it's not going to be built over, because it's been made into a scheduled ancient monument, so you can't dig any holes in it without the consent of English heritage. But if we leave it as it is, it will be invisible. It will be like it's not there. And so what we are very, very anxious to do is to try and do something on the site to bring it to life as far as we can, to bring it to the surface, and to make it have an impact on the layout of the town. So that when you go there, you'll know there's something important that's there, and you get a feeling of the antiquity of the town when you go down there. Now, as it turns out, there are very few places around the Roman Empire where you can actually see, exposed above ground level, the remains of Roman circuses.